Welcome back. You are listening to the Mara Mukunda Show on Salam Media, and we are also live on Facebook. You can view the interview right now. You can share it with your friends and family from anywhere across the world. If you have any comments, queries, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, or you can send them to our WhatsApp on 061 766 0355. It is time for our hit list today. We are featuring Aisha Mponda-Kilumbilo, who is a co-editor and contributor to the Womandla Women's Writing Collection. She's also in marketing and HR, and she is a poet and an artist. That is her hobby and her passion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Aisha, and shukran for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you are a woman of many talents. Tell us where it all began.
Whew, that's a difficult one. I don't even know where most of the stuff began. But in terms of my poetry, I think I started writing while I was still in high school. It was more of just, let me try this, let's see if it works. Because one of my friends convinced me that we should try poetry. And so we did. And then when I got into campus, 2010, 2011, then I discovered the Poetry Society in DUT. And then I would attend those sessions. And from there, the love for poetry began. In terms of art and painting, that's quite a recent, that's like 2019, I started painting. So that's new. In terms of Womandla, the book and the writing, that's a project that also started early 2019. And yeah, the passions just carried on from there.
hmm Now, what about your career? Why did you choose a career in marketing and more so in the field that you are in right now?
Okay, I sort of just fell into marketing. I was an HR major, so I studied HR, did my BTech 4 years, and then I started in this company as an HR intern. And when I got to know what the company is about, and then I got to meet the marketing guys, and I developed an interest for marketing, and an opportunity came up in one of the marketing departments. And so I took a chance and I got the job because obviously I understood what the company is about. And since 2017, I've been growing in different marketing departments. And then I ended up in advanced wound care in
hmm
2018, and I've been there since. And with advanced wound care, even though I don't have a medical background per se, in this field, you get to understand pathology and anatomy and the need for healthcare and wound dressings in the healthcare industry. So that is why I decided I'm going to stay in this department. It's even though I get to do marketing, I also get to help and save people's lives and better their lives every day. So that's for me the biggest part of my job.
So, are there any plans in future of you becoming a doctor or a wound care specialist?
Not at the moment, no. It's quite intense
Mhm.
learning this medical jargon, if I can call it that. It is hectic terms, and I may get to interact with doctors and nurses, but I don't think I would want to go into that field. It's quite hectic. I'm okay doing the marketing and doing the writing side of it, and I don't think I would become a healthcare professional anytime soon.
Mhm. So, tell us about your upbringing and how did that play a role in the person that you are today?
Okay, so in terms of upbringing, like my dad and mom was so focused on education. They always encouraged us to read. Like my sisters and my brothers, most of us are into expression. My sisters and brothers all are poets, most
hmm
of them as a hobby rather than as a passion. But everybody has, like, my dad's always encouraged us to speak your mind, express yourself, and learn, read. more. So that's encouraged me to focus on my writing. It's encouraged me to focus on the reading, to get the knowledge and to understand situations. And, with being Muslim, there's a lot of limitations in the things you can do, the things you can say. But my dad always said, doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as it's good, you learn it, you bring it into your life and you work with it. And so when I went into DUT, it's majority non-Muslim people. The environment is different from the home environment. And my dad always allowed me to go out there and learn and see for myself what everybody is about and understand different things. So that has helped me in the way I recite and the things I write about, in how I interact with people. That's played a major role. Yeah.
Mhm. Now tell us about your writing. What do you write about, and where do you get the inspiration from?
Yeah, this is a common question. Everybody asks that. And there's no specific topic that I focus on. I focus on life itself. Anything that is relevant, anything that I feel is important to speak about, that's what I would write about. Like, for example, at the moment, it's gender-based violence. It's
Mhm.
all this Black Lives Matter. That is the topics that I would focus on in this time. We're looking at lockdown, we're looking at Corona. That is the stuff that's affecting people at this time. That is where I would draw my inspiration from.
Mhm. And what are some of your personal favorite pieces that you've written and you can always go back to and say, that was a good one?
Okay, there's my one very favorite one. I recite it every chance I get, and that's called Streets. It's focusing on women and the strength that we have as women, the things that we've gone through, and how people look at us and don't expect us to have as much strength as we do, but we will always stick with each other no matter what happens. So yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
now
my
that you
favorite one. It's
mentioned
called
it,
Streets.
now that you
Sorry.
mentioned it, you have to give us a piece. You just have to recite it for us now that you mentioned it.
I knew you were going to do this to me, Mariam. But okay, that's fine.
Bismillah.
I will recite it. Okay, so it goes like this. They say we will never leave these streets, as if this concrete would creep up and catch us in its claws, as if this concrete would creep up and catch us in its claws. Raised by the ashes of the dying, put to the ground like dirt, now like dust they're rising, like stars, shining eyes blinding. Guided by those whose eyes no ears can't see, but wisdom speaks. Volumes, louder and louder each time. Open mouths to preach, nor teach, but what's been taught 1,000 times over and over, yet never will it be over 1,000 times before. We always looking for the right opportunities, yet they keep us trapped behind these locked doors. They try to defeat us with broad knowledge as if that's a woman's greatest flaw. And still they say, we will never leave these streets because we were born street. But I think that street that none would leave until we hear 10,000 women's hearts beat, concrete hearts, souls if you want to go deep and be unable to shatter us with your words. And I and my life will feel no hurt. See, I remain because in these streets was where my shelter came. When our hearts were heavy, we screamed out to these streets to release our pain. When we needed to cry, these streets was where God sent his rain. And not knowing that this is where we feel most safe, they keep saying, we will never leave these streets, as if this concrete would creep up and catch us in its claws, as if this concrete would creep up and catch us in its claws. But we don't mind because this is where every woman can be with or without her God given flaws. And for that, I believe that every woman in this world deserves a round of applause. Thank you.
Mm. And to that, I will give a round of applause. But I know in poetry they do this.
Yes.
All right, let's talk a bit about Womandla, the Women's Writing Collection. We know that this is a project that started last year, and you are a contributing writer as well as a co-editor. So far, what was the experience like? Being a contributor as well as co-editing the book.
It was amazing. Hey, I never thought I would ever get the opportunity to edit a book in my life, but thank God it came early. So with Womandla, because it focuses on women only, it's no shade to the men, but men have had books and collections done before, and we wanted something purely African, for women to be able to share their experiences, to tell us what they've been through, to tell us what they want to say and what they cannot say in other platforms. So myself and a few other sisters got together. It was not my brainchild. It was actually Shabnam Balesa Muhammad's brainchild, if you know who she is. So she came up with the concept, got a few of us together and said, let's do this. So we've got different genres. So there's your empowerment writing, there's your poetry, your memoirs, your opinion pieces, and we have it in both English and isiZulu. So writers who prefer to write in Zulu have the opportunity to send their pieces through. And with this book, it is a journey because you hear different voices and it's different ages.
Mhm.
It's not limited to a certain age of woman, a certain type of woman. As long as you are from here, as long as you are one of us, a woman, you can share your experience. And it was amazing sitting with these ladies and going through different pieces and putting the book together. It's a 500-page book, the Womasa
Mm.
one, the first edition, which we never expected that the uptake would be so, like, people, women have been waiting, and it was
Mm.
the most amazing. So when we launched the book, we did a whole launch event. We had a room full of people. There were men who came as well to support women and their experiences, and we had women from across who have done so much for the community, who have contributed so much for the struggle of women come in, and we gave a few awards to such some of these women, and we sold the book on the day as well. And we had a lot of the contributors come and recite their pieces or tell us their experiences live, so we could understand. Like, when you read the book, you hear the voice but you can't picture the face or anything. So it was nice to have some of the contributors come there and tell us about their experiences personally and meet a few of them, which was amazing. For me, it's Womanza is not just a book or a writing collection. It's a journey. It's a
Mhm.
whole movement. It's something that I believe should continue forever because women always have something that they need to say and they need to find a place to put it.
Definitely. And I also think that it should be a feature in South African literature. In South African schools, people should learn about women. I
That
mean,
would be
it's
amazing.
pointless for us to learn about stories of people that we don't know and they are never going to be part of our lives. But it's even more better for us to learn about the people close to us, the people whom we are friends with, whom are we see on a daily basis, whom we work with, etc., etc. In fact, my technical producer Shazia has also been featured in the book. She has a piece there, and
Oh,
yeah, so it
sweet.
feels like, oh yay, fan vibes. We have
I know that feeling. I got a few friends of mine who have also been featured, and every time I speak about the book, they're like, "Yes, I'm there." Like, I know that feeling. It's a beautiful feeling because you know their stories.
What if we each helped just one? The El Imdad Foundation now gives you the opportunity to help just one orphan from Syria or Palestine. For just 500 Rand per month, you can help safeguard the dignity of an orphan by assisting them with basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and attention. Our orphan sponsorship program allows you to track the progress of your orphan through regular feedback. Make a difference in the life of an orphan today. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Dad, well, I've been chatting.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Mara Mkwanda Show on Salam Media, and I hope that I also don't have a problem that I provided in my head earlier on with the connection. But hey, the internet connection around this time, it gets really bad. But anyways, still joining me on the line is our hit list for today, Aisha Mponda-Kilumbilo, and she's talking about her journey as an artist, as a poet, as a a contributor and co-editor of Womandla. Now, Aisha, thank you for staying with us on the line. Now, tell us about the part two of the book. I've been seeing ads floating around on social media saying that there's going to be a part two of Womandla. Tell us about that and how can people get involved? Aisha, your mic is mute. Unmute your mic. Okay, I'm just going to get the studio to take Aisha through that process once again. Her mic has been muted, so she could not hear me. You are listening to the Mara Mkwanda Show on Islam Media. If you have any comments for Aisha or any questions for her, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061-766-0355. Alternatively, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's find out if Aisha can hear me this time. Can you hear me now?
Hi, I
Can
can
you hear me?
barely hear you. I can, but it's breaking up.
Hmm.
It's not quite clear.
All right, let's see how best we can continue with the conversation. Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go. All right. Okay, now, how can people get involved in the book two of Womandla?
Okay, I
Still,
didn't get that.
oh, all right. I wanted
The
to
audio is breaking up, so it's.
know. Mhm.
I can hear that you're asking me something about Womandla, but I'm not getting the full question.
All right, I will try as slow as I can. I'm not sure if it's my connection or I'm not sure, but let us try. How can we get book two of Womandla? How can we contribute as writers, as poets, as just women who would like to share our stories?
Okay, so we've got a Womandla Facebook page. We usually post the posters up there for submissions. Um, the submissions are going to be the deadline was the 30th of May for submissions for Womandla 2, but we will be extending the deadline to the 30th of June. So if anybody does want to still contribute, you do still have a month to do so. You just need to send an email to womandlasa@gmail.com. The email again is womandlasa@gmail.com, and just put in a 50-word bio of who you are. Send in your piece, whether it's poetry or opinion or empowerment, and we will look through that once it comes through.
Mhm. All right. Now, can anyone be a writer or a poet in general? Is that something that is a person is born with, or is it a talent that can be nurtured?
Okay, I think it is possible for anybody who wants to write to become a writer, because there's no, in my opinion, there's no right or wrong way of writing. However, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you get into the proper grammar and construction and that is stuff you have to be taught. But writing, there is no sort of framework for writing, in my opinion. However you want to write, what you feel and what you experience and how you put it on paper is for me considered writing. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have something to share, however you write it down and however you want the world to see it, that's your form of expression. And I would call you a writer if you do that. But I mean, you would get obviously the professionals who would say, no, you it has to be written in a certain way and all that. So
Mm.
in that sense, not everybody can be, because then you still have to learn those things, and not everybody would be keen on learning how to construct sentences and passages in the right way. But if you are able to take a pen to paper and put down your experience, in my opinion, you're a writer. So anybody can be a writer,
All
especially
right,
with
great.
poetry. I know with poetry, they a lot of people will tell you if it doesn't rhyme, it's not a poem.
Hmm.
That's for me absolutely not true.
I'm a
You write,
rhyming poet.
you write
I
the way
don't.
you want, basically.
If my poems don't rhyme, then I'm not poetic enough. So I don't go to poetry. I just stick to writing normal stuff, blog posts and whatnot. So yeah, that's me. I always tell myself that I can't do poetry. I can't write it. Even when I read poems that don't rhyme, I'm like, this is a boring poem.
I can't remember the last time I rhymed in a poem. I don't even know how to do that anymore.
Yeah, all right. Now we play a game called Quick Fire. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you should answer them as quickly as possible. So are you ready?
Okay, no, I'm struggling to.
Struggling to hear me? All right. Okay, seems like we've lost Aisha there for a bit. The connection is really not so great right now. If you are on the internet, get off it. Get off it and watch the video a little later on so that we can conclude with this interview. Um, okay, Aisha is back.
Okay,
How's the
yeah,
connection
I
now?
can hear you now.
Better.
Yeah, it's much better actually. Yeah.
All right, shukran. All right, so quick fire. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you should answer them as quickly as possible. So, question one, if you were the president, who would be your deputy?
Okay, I didn't get that.
Oh, man. Well, the purpose of the quick fire questions is to answer them as quickly as you can. But if you're not hearing me clearly, then I guess we're going to just move on to the next question. So, how has the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way you view life and do things? Aisha, are you there? All right. We've lost Aisha there once again. Don't despair. That's fine. We do have moments like these where we lose our guests due to not so great connection, but that's fine. Aisha, just last question for you. Do you have any advice for uh, people out there, especially now during this COVID-19 pandemic?
I only caught the end. I can't
Advice.
hear. Oh, you asked me for advice in the
Mhm.
within this pandemic.
Yes.
Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll tell everybody what I tell my sisters and my friends. Everybody is so overwhelmed with the pandemic because nobody saw it coming, and everybody is in a panic because they don't know what's going to come next. But in my opinion, everything happens for a reason. We are at this point because God wanted us to be at this point. So just pray about it. Pray about it and carry on with your life. Be safe. If you need to stay at home, stay at home. If you're not feeling well, look after yourself. It's something that we're going to have to live with. The way it's been put out is that the pandemic might not be gone for a very long time. It's something you have to get used to. Just do your best to stay safe. Make sure you look after the people that are closest to you and everybody else, and continue with your life. It's not always going to be this way, so just carry on.
Thank you so much for your time and for chatting to me today. And good luck with everything and have a lovely day. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for having me. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Aisha Mponda-Kilumbilo, today's hit list, and she's also a poet, an artist, a co-editor and contributor of the Womandla Women's Collection book. Part 2 will be coming out very soon, but you can contribute if you would like to be a contributing writer as well. The information is on Facebook. Search for Womandla. Um, yeah, that brings us to the end of that segment. But do stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Spread the sun.